Mero. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how we might be able to help you. So if you are an entrepreneur, a search fund, a small PE or VC firm, or even a company looking for acquisitions, then this video is for you. It is important that you stick to this video because I'm going to share our entire process in detail so that you can make an informed decision and save time in deciding whether or not we are a fit. We're also going to save a lot of time ourselves because we're only going to talk with people that are actually interested in what we're doing and that actually need the help that we can provide. So what is it that we do? Well, we help people and companies find more deal flow and qualified investors almost on autopilot. And generally speaking, the people that we work with are entrepreneurs, search funds, small PE and VC firms, generally below 10 people, and other companies that are looking to acquire assets and maybe entering in new markets that are not too familiar with. More case studies will be shared later in this video. So fundamentally, if you're struggling in finding quality deal flow or finding investors for your project, then what we do applies to you and we can potentially help. Now, let me break down our process a little bit more in detail. We have our dashboard here. We're going to share what is it that we do and how we do it for you. As you can see here, we have a deal or origination workflow that we generally follow every single time we work with a client for finding deal flow and investors on their behalf. What we aim at is to remove the friction there is between finding opportunities and closing opportunities so that small teams can focus all their attention towards closing deals instead of finding them, right? So generating opportunities is a very time-consuming task that may require a lot of staff, or it might require a lot of your time if you're doing it on your own. As a consequence, if you can outsource that process to somebody else that knows how to do this, and you can just stick to what really matters, which is closing deals and closing investors, then you're going to get a higher return on your time. And that's what we're going to be targeting with our service. So fundamentally, we have solved the problem of generating leads or generating leads for deal flow in this case. And we did it because we were originally born as an M&A firm. And so we needed to solve that problem internally. And after some time, we started providing the system that we built as a service to third parties. So how is it that our system works? Well, it follows a very simple process that works in any industry and in any country. We worked in Asia, Middle East, Europe, UK, the United States. So everything I'm going to be sharing with you applies no matter where you are and no matter the industry that you're targeting. Now, how is it that we break down the process of originating opportunities? Well, we first start with understanding what is it that you're looking for? What is the industry that you're targeting? What is the target geography that you want to focus on? And all these search criteria that are going to help us refine the search and make sure we can deliver optimal results to you. Now, how do we do that? Well, from the moment you sign up and you decide to work with us as a client, we're going to walk you through an onboarding session. It's not going to take you more than 45 minutes. And it's going to help us understand what is it that you're looking for. As you can see here, we are in the first box here on the left, pointed with the arrows. And what we're going to work with is a questionnaire. So from the moment you sign up and you decide, okay, I want to outsource deal origination or investor origination and have Marco's team work with me in bringing opportunities, bringing leads on a consistent basis, we're going to understand what are the requirements. We're going to get on a call, sit down for 45 minutes and drill down all the search criteria. As you can see here, I listed a few. They're just an example. The questionnaire will be created bespoke to your needs. But as you can see, we're going to understand the industries that you're targeting, the location, number of employees, if we're talking about assets that you want to buy, years in business, revenue, EBITDA, job roles that you're targeting, deal type, types of deals, other additional information about the industry, and all these sorts of things. If you're looking for investors, the search queries might change. It might be, family offices and the type of investor that you're targeting, how much are they allocating, what type of check they're writing, job roles will apply as well, what type of companies they invest in or what type of projects they invest in. Do they do debt? Do they do equity? All these sorts of things. So this will change based on your needs. Now, we'll also understand from you if you already perform searches so that we can avoid overlapping with the work that you already did. That is important because it will preserve your reputation and avoid that we talk with the same person or the same firm multiple times. Then, of course, we're going to collect some information from you just to keep you looped as we progress with the engagement. And this is fundamentally the first step that we're going to take after you are onboarded and after you decide, okay, I want somebody to oversee the process of deal origination. I want somebody to bring me leads every single week. I don't want to work on origination anymore. I want to take this burden off my shoulders, and I just want to focus all my attention on closing deals or closing investors. I want to get back that time, and we're going to talk about getting time back later in the video. So the first step will be creating a questionnaire that is filled out and that enables our team to build up a bespoke strategy for you. That is going to be something similar to this, okay? We will look into that in a second. Now, this second step that we're going to follow is data collection, because now that we have your criteria, your search criteria, we need to create a pool of leads that are potentially good fits for you. And there are various ways we're going to create this data pool, and I'm going to share that with you later. But fundamentally, what you're going to get at the end of these 2-3 days process is a populated data room, which is going to look something like this. And it's going to have one file where there's the raw data that we're going to work on. As you can see here, there's a lot of data that I pulled as an example. And then we're going to track the stage of the opportunity and all these sorts of things, which are not relevant to this video. But the point is, you're going to get a data room that is containing the initial pool of targets that we're going to use. Then you're going to get the onboarding questionnaire that you filled previously, and you're going to access a resource file, which is fundamentally breaking down every single step of the process that we follow so that you can keep track of our performance at all times, know exactly where we are and what is it that we're doing for you. So as you can see here, there's the onboarding video, data collection, which is the step that we're discussing now. Then we're going to have email setup, questionnaires and calls, personalized outreach, campaign setup, campaign launch, testing, monitoring, and optimizing. And you're going to have videos that you can access here, right? For each section, so that you can access resources that are explained directly by me. So that's how your data room is going to look like. I mean, very simple in the beginning, but simplicity is key when we go ahead and try to find deal flow, off-market deal flow in potential investors. So we're going to focus on a pool of people that we feel resonates with what you're looking to do, and we're going to take it from there. So this process of data collection, as I just mentioned, is going to take between 2 and 3 days. So from the moment you submit the questionnaire and we finish the onboarding session, in 2 or 3 days, we're going to collect the data, populate the data room, share it with you so you can access it at all times, and then move forward with the next step. The next step is workflow creation. That's going to take 3, 4, maximum 5 days. And what is it all about? Well, that's the core of the deal origination process or the lead generation process. What we're going to do is build a system that is bespoke to your needs. Now, you might wonder, what do I mean by that? Well, depending on the type of prospect that you want to reach out to, whether it be a deal, whether it be an investor, there are going to be different ways to connect with those people. Certain channels will work best, others will work less. And it depends really on the type of niche that you're targeting, the type of asset that you want to buy, the type of investor that you're targeting. That will all be addressed during the onboarding call. Once we drill down your requirements and we really understand what channels are going to deliver the optimal outcome. As you can see here, I mentioned on the left that we might use different, channels for finding the data and creating the workflow. We might start with email outreach, calls, scraping data from tools and Google Maps, social media, professional network, and our own affiliates across the globe, the affiliates that we have on the ground in multiple countries. What I can say to you is that basically every single strategy will start with some sort of outbound that's going to get done either via email, call, or social media, because it's going to enable us to tap into all the data that is available online and all the prospects that are available online. Based on that feedback that we collect from that initial outreach, then we can adapt the strategy that follows, which is this workflow that I'm showcasing to you. And so for me to give you clarity on how this all works, let's just go through this example, which seems complicated, but it's not. And keep in mind that this is going to be adapted to your needs and based, on what is it that you're looking to get out of lead generation. Because again, certain things will work better in certain niches, others will work less well. So let's just assume, for the sake of this example, like we're going to start with email campaigns and maybe social media outreach to find potential assets that are available for sale, small, medium-sized businesses. What we're going to do is an initial outreach to the people that match these criteria. So business owners with companies that generate below 25 million in revenue, less than 50 employees in the state of Florida, and so on and so forth. What's going to happen after that initial outreach is that we're going to get a yes or no reply, yes or no answer, or a no reply that you can see here in yellow. A red, so a no reply, is going to help us qualify the person away and just remove them from our lists. A yes is going to move the person forward in our process. A no reply is going to trigger a series of follow-ups that in the case of emails are going to be via emails. In the case of social media is going to be via social media and so forth. And after a number of follow-ups in the same channel, it's going to switch to a different channel. So what do I mean by that? Let's say that we do outreach to a person 2-3 times via email and that person doesn't reply. It doesn't say no or yes. What is it that we do? Well, we can try to reach out to that person through a different channel, maybe social media, maybe call. And the reason for that is simple. Not all people are responsive to emails. Not all people are responsive to calls. Not all people are responsive to social media. And this initial phase enables us to test the ones that click for certain mediums and then adapt the strategy for the ones that didn't reply for one reason or another. And so it might happen that certain people that didn't reply to 4 or 5 emails then reply within 15 minutes to a LinkedIn message or something like that. And this approach towards follow-ups that is multi-channel is going to enable us to increase the amount of leads that we can get for you, because we're always going to talk with the prospect where he's more comfortable. And that is really going to trigger high response rates. And of course, there are restrictions that apply to this. If a prospect doesn't reply to calls, emails, or social media, we might, just qualify them away because it's not somebody that's going to reply ever, right? You get what I'm heading at. So from this moment on, once we receive a yes or no answer from the prospects that you're looking to talk to, there are really a variety of ways that we can go about qualifying them. And really, it all comes down to how specific you want to be in qualifying leads. So you might say to me, Marco, I'm working with a very small team. We don't have time to take a lot of calls. We want you to serve us hyper qualified leads that once they get on the call, they already understand what we're all about. They're ready to do a deal or potentially invest in a project, and then we take it from there. Or you might say, well, I'm pretty okay with time. The important thing for me is to get prospects that already have certain criteria, and then I'm going to handle the call myself. That, again, it depends on you, but independently of what you need, we can create a bespoke solution that applies to your case. In this particular example, I'm showing you a sequence that takes people through a questionnaire and then a call that gets booked. So as you can see here, the moment somebody replies positively, they get a questionnaire that they need to fill out that will have industry-specific questions that are based on your own search criteria, so that the guy can then book a call, the lead. What happens then is once the guy books a call, you can review the questionnaire and see whether or not the person is a fit. Decide if you want to keep the call or cancel the call. And that is going to be very helpful because it's going to save time and enable you just to speak with the ones that are a fit. Now, as you can see here in the purple box, if the guy is filling the questionnaire and is not a match, we'll just cancel the call and move forward. If he's a good fit, we will get him on a 15-minute call. If he's not replying to us or not filling out a questionnaire, again, same follow-up sequences that might apply. Here we put 3 messages, but don't think that is going to be the case for you specifically. It's just an example. There might be 5, there might be 10, there might be 200. It's just a matter of understanding what is it that works in your specific industry and niche. The ultimate objective, again, is to get him on a call in this particular case. And the call can be taken by us or by you. Again, it depends on how qualified you want these leads to be. Of course, if we are the ones taking the calls, your initial investment will go up significantly because we're going to have our team take all these calls and allocate a lot of resources towards it. If you just want to take the calls, your initial investment might go down significantly because we're just going to run a qualification system and make sure that people that get on the phone with you or on a Zoom meeting are actually on target, and then from there you take it forward. Now, if the guy passes the qualifying call, which is generally a call where we probe for more information, we ask industry-specific questions, and we fundamentally discuss how the process is going to work for him, then it's the time to request more info and connect the guy with you. Couple different ways we can go about this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because, again, it's going to be bespoke to your needs. The point I want to get across here is that this whole system is going to get built based on the industry you're in, based on the goal that you're looking to accomplish, the type of people that you're targeting. Of course, if you're looking for deals that are in the medical sector, we need to use a certain approach. If you're looking for deals in the HVAC business, we need to use a different approach. If you're looking for investor, we need to use even a completely different approach. This is just an example to explain to you what is it that we're going to do for you if we were to work together. So once the process is done, what is it that you're going to get at the end of the day? Well, you're going to get qualified leads that are exactly what you've been looking for. So either motivated sellers, deal flow, off-market deals, investors for your projects. And that's ultimately what this system, what this lead generation system will accomplish for you. So once we have built that, let me zoom back in, over 3-4 days, what we're going to do is launch the deal origination campaign and ramp up the process to collect as many leads as possible. Now, I know a lot of you are going to wonder, well, do you guarantee a number of leads? Well, it's very difficult to guarantee a number of leads unless we know what are the sectors that you're targeting and the uh, niche that you're targeting. So it is impossible. I mean, firms that give you guarantees on the amount of leads that they can provide you are either very generalistic in their approach. So there are marketing agencies that bring you B2C leads. And in that case, fine, you're targeting the word. But if you're working in deal origination, investor origination, predicting how many prospects are going to respond positively to your messages or to your projects, it's close to impossible based on our experience. You might think it is different than that. We have seen that people that guarantee results are generally the one that end up, with problems and having problems with clients. But aside from that, we ramp up the process and we collect as many leads as possible every single week so that you can keep your pipeline full. The objective is to get to a point where you get leads on a consistent basis and prospects that are a match for what you're doing so that you can focus all your efforts on closing these leads, taking the calls to close deals or close investors, and forget completely about the origination process that is now handled by us. Now, in terms of how we keep you updated, well, of course, you get the data room, which I shared before. It's going to show you all the resources there. Here you got only the raw data, but there's going to be additional sheets that show the lead that passed certain qualification stage. As you can see here, I put an example, which is, of course, just random example, but you're going to have separate sheets that outline the type of leads that are getting through the steps of the funnel. And then you're going to be able to connect with them. Now, I'm sure you might wonder, well, Marco, how am I going to take these calls if you are the one that is making the efforts, you're the one talking with these people? Well, we are going to connect you to them, and we're always going to keep your name confidential until you step in and decide to take over the conversation. So you're going to benefit from two things. First, you're not going to need to expose your name and what you're doing until you're ready to move forward with the lead. And second, we are going to do a type of outreach that will not be kind of proprietary outreach. So we're not going to use your name. We're not going to use specific details that can affect the introduction once we make it. And so it's going to be very easy for us to just bring the deals across to you and make an intro or have them book a call on your calendar. And then in 5 minutes, when you talk to them, you're going to be able to explain, the process that they went through and why that was necessary to kind of like get them to that point. So once the deal or origination process is ramped up, we keep bringing you leads, keep bringing you deals, keep bringing you investors, depending on what you're looking for. And we keep you updated with weekly summaries. We generally do that on Fridays. No, don't quote me on that because that might change. But we generally do weekly updates with videos like the one that you're watching, where we go over the work that we have done. And one time a month, we join a call with you to review the entire process, see how the prospects are responding when they get on a call with you, and potentially adjust the strategy if there are adjustments that needs to be made, right? And so that's fundamentally it when it comes to the process of deal origination and lead generation. In terms of the way we work, it is a very simplified process. So for you and for your team, if you're working with a team, the only things we're going to need are the initial search criteria, and then we take the process from there. We populate the data room, we share with you, then we share the resources that you can use, and we then build up the pipeline and start sending you leads. As I mentioned before, and I want to bring it to your attention once again, you're going to have at all times in your data room our table of contents that's going to explain to you what is it that we're doing, why is it that we're doing it, and also videos that will explain what we do in real time. I'm recording these videos and I'm keeping them very simple without the technical details so that you can avoid falling asleep when you're watching them. But the point is, they're going to guide you through the process, and you're going to know exactly where you are every step of the way so that you don't lose track of what we're doing, and you're always in the loop and you understand why is it that they're doing this to originate deals, why is it that they're doing personalized outreach, why they're setting up the campaigns, are they currently testing, monitoring, or optimizing, and so forth. So this is going to be a very useful resource for you, full of knowledge and details. Now lastly, if what I said here in our deal origination workflow is not enough, or you're not convinced yet, or maybe you feel there's not enough information in this video, which I think it's almost impossible, you can go on our YouTube channel. As you can see, we have quite a lot of videos, 508 videos, and you can see everything that we do broken down, and all the information that you might want to look for are going to be stored there, and you can spend your afternoons watching them. But chances are, if you're looking for more deal flow and investors, you don't have time to waste. And so this video will be more than enough for you to understand how we can help you and how we can save you tons of time in the origination process. Because the point is exactly this, and I'm heading to my conclusion here. If you're currently doing the origination process yourself, or if you have a small team and you are juggling between tasks, trying to originate deals and then closing them, or finding investors and then closing them, the problem is that you're doing a lot of things not at 100% of your potential. And fundamentally, you are spreading your efforts too thin. Let's say that you're allocating, I don't know, $100 a month towards a project. If most of this time is allocated towards finding opportunities instead of closing them, then once you outsource that activity that is low value for you, you get back $100 that you can then allocate towards high ROI activities that are negotiating, closing deals, closing investors. And once you get that time back, you can clearly realize that you can accelerate the process of deal flow generation or investor generation, and let us take care of the back end stuff. Now, in terms of returns, there are countless examples that I can give you. If we want to use the deal example, if you were to outsource the process of finding deals to us, and then you spend all your time negotiating transactions, you might close a deal in 4 months. In that case, if the deal is, $1 million, you allocated 4 months of capital towards us to get $1 million back, which is a pretty good return. And, we are expensive, but we're not going to charge you so much that, $1 million return is not going to justify, the expense. So the point I'm getting at is understanding the low value activities and the high value activities is a priority. And in terms of deal execution, negotiating and closing deals is mandatory. If you need capital, talking with people that can allocate the capital is also key. All the rest is something that somebody else can do. If you have somebody in-house that is already doing it, fine. Then we cannot help you, or we might be able to help you if he's, full and his pipeline is full and he's not able to generate more. Or if you don't have that and you're juggling between tasks, or your team is trying to do that in their spare time, then this is exactly what we can help with. And a short note on this is that even if you are looking to enter new countries and new geographies, and maybe you're not experienced in finding deal flow or connections over there, that is still something that can help. We can still help with that, because you might say, okay, I can allocate some internal resources, some human capital towards learning how to find deals in a certain area, negotiate, bring me deals, and then continue the process from there. Or I can just work with somebody that knows how to find deals and just get the ball rolling right away. So it's really something that's going to help both people that are facing some constraints in terms of originating the opportunities, or they're entering new markets, new projects, and stuff like that. Lastly, what is it that you must do if this is something that applies to you and this is something we can help with? Well, you need to click the button that's below this video. That's going to mention something like I want more leads or something different. You're going to be redirected to a page that is looking like this, mentioning here's how I might be able to help you. There's going to be another video with a case study of how we helped a group find 21 off-market deals in a very, very tricky region, so that you can get a little bit more context around the people that we have helped. You can watch that if that adds value to you. If not, you can just click here to book a call, and you're going to go directly to our calendar where you can pick a slot to speak with one of us at the firm at Ulysses and see how we can help you generate deal flow and investors. Fundamentally, all we're going to do for you has been mentioned here in the video. We're going to generate leads for you predictably and basically take care of the deal origination process or investor generation process on your behalf, so that you can focus your entire attention on closing deals and closing investors. So again, if all this sounds like something that you can get value out of, then click the button below this video, go on the page and book a call.